Hello, hello. How are you all doing today? Welcome to our Tuesday lunch chat. I'm so excited because today we are going to talk about all things 4-day knit along. Woo! Obviously, the thing I've been not so subtly hinting that I'm working on that I can't show you for the last 2 weeks is the 4-day knit along, our sample. Maria is so generous to help shops out and then give us advanced copy to work on to be ready so that we can best help all of our customers. I'm hoping that the mic is working, unlike Friday. Hi, Mary. So, yes, I've been working on it. I've been plugging away, and I can't wait to show it to you, but I'm not showing it to you today. Don't get too excited. Hands off the spoilers until June 7th. But I can talk to you about yarn because that bizzo came out yesterday and it is now for public consumption. So I can also show you my swatch, which I think is, who doesn't love a good swatch story? Right? Hi, everybody. Oh, hi, Bert. Hi, Z. Heidi, I just read your comment that the mic is fine, and I was like, whose mic? I've moved on so fast. Hi, Nydia. Thank you for letting me know you can hear me. Okay, Christy wants to know what color I'm using, and I am going to show you. So, I'm using, oh my God, I match. I'm using denim in the Universal Deluxe Tweed DK. I'm going with the budget yarn, folks. I I would have loved to use the Farmer's Daughter Craggy Tweed. I love Farmer's Daughter Craggy Tweed. In fact, I have sweater quantity for a colorwork sweater, which meant it in my stash, but that meant that I don't have any single color in enough quantity to use for myself. And our order of Farmer's Daughter arrived a couple weeks ago, but it was still coming when I could cast on for this. And do you think I was gonna wait? So this was here. It had just arrived the day I could get started. And I was like, well, that's what I'm going to use then. I'm going to show everyone that a $12 skein yarn is a perfectly lovely alternative to a $30 skein yarn. There's nothing wrong with either one. If you want that hand-dyed beauty, go get it. You get it, girl. You get that hand-dyed goodness. If you want a $66 sweater, you get it. There's no judgment either way. So also, I picked blue. Okay, I'm going to tell you blue is not my thing, but then that's hard for you guys to believe because I'm also wearing blue today. It's really, really not. Like, blue is just definitely not the color I go to. And so I'm kind of, so my right eye has just been really fussy today. What was the January knit along? Buoys. There was buoys. Bow house. My boat house was shades of blue and some purple too. And so that was a step out for me. And it's like I've kind of just stayed in that general direction with 2021. So that's great. It's all good to branch out and do something new, right? So yeah, here's my little beautiful swatch of denim. And I chose the yarn and before I completely knew what the gauge was. So then when I saw the gauge was 5 stitches, I was a little bit worried. I was like, oh gosh, I hope that's not too lightweight. But this top half here is my 5 stitches. I got that on a US 7. And I got to tell you, this yarn, color me surprised. It's lovely. I'm enjoying it completely. Enough that I have now convinced Jill this is the yarn that she's going to use too. So this 5 stitches to the inch, it worked out just great. And I have to tell you that even though knitting the swatch was perfectly fine, it was just, it was great. Blocking, this yarn feels so nice blocked up. So nice. So, let's see. I think it's going to be 5 skeins. I'm doing the 3rd size in, and I think the math came out to 5. So interestingly enough, also when I got the advanced copy, it was only the 1 gauge option. She's going to offer 2 gauge options, and so you really could do either gauge option in this yarn, which is great because that means the flexibility for you as a knitter to find just the right niche size is fantastic, so that you'll be able to confidently buy your yarn and maybe add a skein if you're going to fudge with the gauge and try this tighter 5.5 stitch gauge option. But you can achieve that easily. And both fabrics are nice. They're both great with this yarn. And the same with the Farmer's Daughter. So, so we do have the Farmer's Daughter as well. So we have a collection page that I've created that's on our website. So if you go to the shop tab, the very first selection right there says 4-day KAL, and you can click on that and you can see all of the yarns that I think would work for this sweater. And so I'm going to give you a quick rundown. I know we already talked about the tweeds, but I'm going to just go over those again. And also just FYI, at the top of that collection, there's a link to our blog post, or if you just go straight to the blog post, I have all of the information I can give you to date. And so I know a lot of you tuned in and saw Marie's video yesterday and have this information, but if you need a refresher, the yardage is there, the body style is there, the finished bust circumferences is there, how many skeins of our 2 top recommendation yarns, that's all listed out for you as well, so you don't have to be doing all that math. Fit advice, gauge, etc. It's all there. This is a shorter sweater, so just keep that in mind when you're shopping for yarn. If you feel like that body length is shorter than you're looking for, you might want to add an extra skein to your order. So, okay, so let's talk about the yarns real quick. Why real quick? We got all day, right? Let's take all day. Let's just do an hour per yarn. We'll just do a deep dive on each of these, right? Just kidding. Okay, I need water. Hold up. Okay. All right. So real quick recap. Oh, I always forget how washed out the lighting makes things in here. This is the Universal DK tweed that I am using. I think this color I grabbed here is smoke. So this is a light gray. If I get it back a little bit, it's a little more accurate. There we go. Kind of a really nice light gray, great neutral. So if you're looking for a neutral, smoke is a great one. Charcoal, porcelain. There's another seal cut oats. All 4 of those are really great neutrals. Jen, I think you got the worsted weight. Yes, but that's the same. It's the same exact fiber. So yeah, we did have some of this in worsted weight for Fiat, and then for some reason they never could finish my order. Like they only shipped half the colors and I never got the rest. I don't know why. Anyway, but we do have a million colors now in the DK weight. Okay, so that was the Universal. That's the yarn I'm using. That's your $12 a skein option. And then, of course, we have the uber lovely Farmer's Daughter Craggy Tweed. This one's 30 a skein. This one is a pretty strong match to Heather's yarn from So Happy Jane. So these are very, very similar, same yardage, etc. This colorway I'm holding is called Emile, and it's a really beautiful spring sage green. Just absolutely gorgeous. And so, yeah, 231 yards. That's the Farmer's Daughter. Can't go wrong. And now my other selections. So these are 5 more yarns in our shop that I think would make absolutely lovely firework sweaters. Now keep in mind, I know what this sweater is and looks like. I know what the stitch pattern is. So I know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to, give you a really bad, oh, there's the lights. All right, I'm not going to give you a bad recommendation. So as long as you stick to pretty semi-solid slash solid tonal yarns, you don't want a lot of color variation in this sweater. So so we're going to go through these now. Okay, first up, Llaneras Deseos. This is that new one we've got in that is absolutely beautiful. And I don't think that this amount of variation is too much. I think just this little subtle where it's lighter green, that is totally going to work. This is Viserion, this colorway. So the Llaneras Deseos has 225 yards, sorry, 215 yards, and it's $20. So this is a smidge heavier. It's still a DK, but it will do 5 stitches to the inch beautifully. I've got a swatch out there to prove it, because we swatch everything. All right, another great 5 stitch to the incher, Rios. So yes, it's typically called a worsted, but it's one of those, just like these other yarns. These all yarns that I'm showing you now, they straddle that. They're just right on the gauge between worsted and DK, and they can go both directions. And so this right here would be beautiful. And of course, this colorway, Hollyhock, yes, please. This would make an amazing fireworks. So that's Rios. Oh, and sorry, this is going to give you 219 yards for $16. Sorry, 210 yards for $16 for Rios. And then our favorite, Scout. I know most of you have probably used Scout by now for some project, either soundtrack last year or I don't even know. Like we've had it, it's great, but we've had it, it's great. We still have it because it's great. This is just like 100% wool. It's just a solid performer. That's the best way to describe it. And I think 16 as well, 274 yards. So the yardage on this one is going to line up with the yardage for the universal tweed, more or less, in terms of the number of balls that you would need. Another great option. This is Mint Heather, which is beautiful. Great summer color. Yeah, Julia, you were thinking about Deseos. I think it would be gorgeous in the Deseos. Us. Yes. Okay, now, Farm Twist. Madeline Tosh. This is their DK. It would be great at 5 stitches to the inch. I've swatched it at 5, and it's perfect. So this one would be another great option. This one comes with 225 yards, and this is coffee grounds in my hand. So superwash, merino, yummy. Okay, then if you are not so excited about 100% wool, or you live in a climate that makes that a little bit difficult to wear, Luma would be really lovely in this pattern. Really lovely. So Luma, if you aren't familiar, this is a Fiber Company yarn. It's a DK, and you might want it at the 5.5 stitch to the inch option rather than 5, but I would just swatch to see which fabric you preferred. And Luma is made of 50% wool, so it's still got the wool in there, but it's got 25% cotton, 15% linen, and 10% silk. So Luma is this really great all-season yarn. I made a highly textured pullover with Luma a few years ago. It's one of my top 10 favorite sweaters. It shows stitch definition really well, which will be great for this. So there you go. If for those of you not wanting to just do 100% wool, this yarn right here would fit the bill. Christy asked, what about a short sleeve hot weather option? You could make this sleeves short. Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. That would work fine. I mean, it's, hold on. We know it's a pullover, but I can't remember if this next word I was about to say is out yet. Just a second. I'm just popping over to Marie's website to see if she's used this word. Yoke style. Okay, it's a yoke. So in remembering about how you might want to adjust and make short sleeves, just remember how a yoke fits. You'll be down to, about, here on the arm when you put the sleeves on hold, and so then you would just want to kind of tailor whatever length extra you wanted, or maybe just put an end on it right there, which is you could totally do. So that was a great question, Christy. Yes, I think it would be cute with short sleeves also. So does anyone else have any other questions about the 4-day knit along or their plans? So other yarns for hot weather. Oh, I bet the Soft Yak Dk would be gorgeous. Rowan Soft Yak Dk. So that's 85% cotton, 15% yak. And for a cotton yarn, it has really lovely definition. So that's another one. And the sheen on it is really beautiful. We're a little bit low on that because it's just has been, we're just kind of coming back into the summer season, and I haven't reordered. If you decided that Soft Yak Dk is something you're interested in, I definitely could look into ordering colors for you. That's a great one. I'm glad you asked that because, Christy, I am going to add that to the collection because I think that that's another really nice DK alternative. 4-day KAL. Good. Let's see, of my other DK and worsted cottons, we're a little bit low on worsted cotton right now. I haven't really found a replacement for the Blue Sky Organic Cotton. And I feel like my other DKs that are plant blends are a little bit on the light side. Oh, Bamboo Pop. I bet Bamboo Pop would be really good. That is 50% wool, 50% bamboo. It has a really nice hand. That was one of the yarns that I swatched for the yarn tasting that I was like, oh, good Lord, this is a really nice yarn. So that's another good one, Christy, that would work for warmer weather. Yep, one color. Thank you, Jen. She saw that you were answering someone's. Yes, yoke style, one color, pullover. Jen, I am knitting. Let me go back to my blog post. I'm knitting size 3, which is a finished 43. And that is almost exactly about the recommended ease. I'm like a 41 and 3/4 actual measurement. So, that's a pretty close, it's a little less, I guess, than 2 inches recommended ease, but I think it'll be fine. Like my favorite sweaters of Marie's have been size 42. So I think that that's still going to be a pretty good one for me. Diane, the Sueno Tweed swatch is lighter. Swatch is a little more lightweight than I think would work. Okay, let me back up. The Sueno Tweed at 5.5 stitches to the inch definitely would be good. But you probably for sure would want to be making that gauge adjustment that is going to be available. The alternate gauge. I just had to double check that was also published. Yes. So you would want to shoot for that 5.5 stitch to the inch with the Sueno Tweed. A lot of you knit with Sueno for the happy hour sweater, and it grows. It's a growing superwash, and so you want to keep it at a denser gauge as possible. If you have Sueno Tweed in your stash already, then by all means it would be great. Otherwise, it's back ordered with the manufacturer until June or July. So I don't know if I don't think we'll be restocked with Sueno Tweed in time for the knit along. But yes. Oh, so Kim can answer the short sleeve definitively because she said she almost stopped her sample with no sleeves, and so she said it was totally cute that way. So that's great. Yeah, what did I call it? Bamboo pop, wool pop. I meant wool pop. That one's I get that one mixed up all the time because they have bamboo pop, which is the original, and then now they have the wool pop, which is the wool blend, and I never can say that right. I always get that mixed up. Oh, it was good around your soundtrack was great fitting in the bust, but too big in the arms. I have to say, for Marie's sweaters, I typically try to make my arms bigger because I have big upper arms. But soundtrack was the exception to that. And so my first soundtrack is also big in the arms, but that's also because I am used to adding a few stitches in the arms with Marie's patterns to fit me. And I did that just assuming without paying any attention to the actual measurement of the upper arm. My bad. Do as I say, not as I do. And so I knew on my number 2 soundtrack to accommodate for that. So it's not typical, I think. You'll just want to look at the schematic, Jen, when you're choosing your size. And it is possible that you can bring those arms in faster. You can get rid of some stitches. You could pick up fewer stitches in the underarm if it calls for that to accommodate maybe getting the right bust measurement but needing a smaller arm measurement. So there is ways to work around that. And if you have questions about that when the time comes when you're choosing your size, just let me know and I'm happy to help. You think bamboo pop would be too drapey? I don't. Oh, bamboo pop. Yes. Bamboo pop would be insane. Yes, I agree. But the wool pop would be great because that half wool content really helps keep that one in line. Oh, we keep bumping the shelf there. I love answering questions. Let's see. Kim, what color is yours? I'm so curious to know about some other samples going on out there or test knits, etc. Yeah, Luma could be warm for hot weather. I mean, if you really can't do the half wool, then I don't know. I don't have a ton of great recommendations here in the store. Not to say that other ones aren't out there. That would be great. A great yarn would be Rowan Calmer, the long discontinued cotton yarn that is just like, it was like a miracle cotton. It was so beautiful. Barb, how dense is the fabric on mine? So, not dense. I know that's a very subjective question, so it's hard for me to give you an answer. And I wish I could just like bring it up into the screen and show you because it's right here. It's just, I would call it just a nice, appropriate sweater density. It feels a slightly less dense than my soundtrack, which was, I knit soundtrack with wool stock at 5 1/4 stitches to the inch. So that was a slightly more dense thing. And so this is a DK being knit at 5 stitches to the inch. But also in my finished swatch, which I'll hold up again, it's not like there is any air between those stitches or by any means. Like it's I don't know, it's a good medium density. I don't know if that really helps you or not. Sorry. um Oh, yeah. So Kim is just answering Jen's question about having like needing different sizes, like you need the bust size, but the sleeve's too big. She was saying that Marie's class Sweater Boss made her really confident in changing these things around and realizing that you can do that within a pattern. And so if you haven't yet gone to check that out, check it out because that is really, really a good one. Oh, Remix Light. There you go. Okay, so back to Christy really quick. Warm weather choice. Thank you, Julia. Remix Light, 5 1/2 stitches to the inch. It's a loose light fabric, but it is beautiful and it feels really good the more it's washed. So that's another consideration, and that is on our website. Lightweight soft yarn for a baby blanket. Carrie, I would say the Ultra Wool DK would be really great. It would be light, it's washable, and there's a million colors, and it's got really good yardage. So Ultra Wool DK would be my recommendation for a light, soft yarn for baby blanket. Yeah. Rosy Glow. Okay, so it's like a pale pink. Very nice. Oh, that's going to be lovely. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to share and see. It's going to be so much fun. I already have plans for another one that I'm going to cast on and make with everybody during the actual knit along dates. So I've been scheming. I know exactly what I'm going to do, and I'll share that later. But I have loved making this sample. This is a very entertaining pattern. Everyone's going to have an absolute ball making this thing. Marie knows how to give us all a good time, right? I mean, there is just no doubt about it. All right, well, if you guys don't have any other questions about the 4-day knit along, I'm going to let y'all go. I think that was everything I had to say. And Campbell's busy filling all your orders. I know there's so many people who were very happy to have a more budget-friendly yarn option. And so we are very happy to help with that. And Campbell, Linda has a great question. She says, is brown too dark to see? This is one of those stitch patterns, and Kim can also chime in if she agrees with me or if she disagrees, that I feel like even some of the darker colors are fine. You can still see what's going on. So that's a little cryptic, I know, but like somebody asked about Merlot in the Universal and Navy, and I think both of those are totally fine. I think the stitch pattern is going to show just fine in those. So yeah, that's a great question, Linda. So some of the darker colors, they're still okay. Yeah. Oh, Heidi said Marie already addressed that, so that's great. Yeah, I do think the way that this stitch is made, this pattern is made, it'll show your yarn off even if it's in a darker tone. So yeah. Woohoo! Well, okay guys, I'm gonna let you go, and it's been real fun chatting about the 4-day knit along with everybody. Again, if you have questions at all, please do not hesitate to email us. You can email us at customerservice@notanotherhat.com, and we'll get right back to you. We love to help. We'd love to help. And I'll see you guys on Friday. Ciao.